Well, Elliot, welcome to episode 6 of Graphic Design is My Elliot GDIME. Start your week right with GDIME. Everybody agrees. The happiest of Tuesdays to you all. It is truly Elliot time, and we'll pause for the thumbnail. Right on. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Yes, as you can see, there still is an empty space on my gallery wall. Like I said last week, if I didn't put it up on the day, then it won't be up for 10 weeks. So we have 10 weeks of GDIME with an empty space on the wall, but hopefully we'll get around to it today. But knowing me, probably not. Probably not. Because I just don't do things that often, like things that are necessary like that. That's all part of it, though. That's what you do, I guess, when you live on your own and stuff. You just, if no one's coming over, then who the fuck is it for? Me, right? So it's like, if I'm not gonna do, I'm just not gonna do it. Okay. Hey guys, thank you so much for 100 5-star ratings on the Spotify podcast. We made it to the top 20 arts podcasts in Australia. That's a big deal. Except it's not really. It's actually not that big of a deal. I know. I checked. It got a little notification on the GDIME Spotify podcasters website, which is kind of this exclusive side of Spotify. It's amazing the stuff you find on there, and it's where I get to see all your answers to your Spotify questions that I asked, which is a weird thing that you can do. Turns out there is an interactivity to the Spotify podcasting platform. But I got this little notification. It says, hey, you're in the top 20 arts podcasts in Australia. I said, oh my God, how? I have hardly promoted this podcast. I'm waiting for the next YouTube video to do it. That's awesome. I go and check the list, okay? And anyone can check this. I'm suddenly off the list as well. I don't know what happened. I was at number 17 at one point, and now it's just not on it anymore. I don't know where it went. Who knows? And I was checking the list, and I'm surrounded at that one point by, I think it was someone just reading the Bible, and that's a podcast. And then there was another one, which was an ASMR podcast, arts podcast. It's a weird category. It's a weird category, and it's very, I don't think it's too hard to really get into that category, especially within Australia. So for a real challenge, I'm considering pushing myself into the comedy part. Maybe make this a comedy podcast instead of a design and architecture podcast. I think maybe that makes more sense because I don't really talk about graphic design at all. It's more just me chatting. Maybe just a talking category. So yeah, we'll see. A lot to think about, guys. Really sleepless nights thinking about this kind of thing. But thank you anyway. 100 5-star ratings is awesome. I think it's like 110 now or something, which is very cool. So thank you for that. Let's keep that movement going. Yeah. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun to see that number continuously go up, especially when I put it on my main video. We'll do a quick run report, by the way. I did not go. Once again, I did not go for a run today. Back to back. I would like to say that I went for a run in the afternoon last Tuesday. So I did make up for the lack of run in the morning. Today, it's a little bit different. Today, my body is saying rest. I think I've really fucked up my hips. Okay. My right one has been hurting a lot. Now my left one is hurting. I gotta slow down. I was playing basketball last night, competitively in a social league, of course. And I may or may not have banked in a 3 at the buzzer. I may or may not have done that. It sounded like this. Look, it's a thing. It's sometimes, I'm pretty, I can shoot. And I think I just I don't know what it was. I went to the gym, then played basketball. That probably was a terrible combo. And I've woken up and my left hip is an absurd amount of pain. So I'm going to listen to my body and it's telling me to slow down, and I'm going to slow down, which I think is important. I was going to go to the gym today. I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I'm going to go see a movie instead. And that is, I think, a good thing. Also, I didn't run in the morning because I got a skin check, would you believe? I found a mole under my arm. I don't know if you know this, everyone, but in Australia and New Zealand, skin cancer rates are very high in terms of the world. I think it's because of how intense the UV is here. So it's very important to get your skin checked in Australia. And I did my first ever skin check because, I haven't spent too much time in the sun or anything, but I did find a mole that had like a kind of a ring of dry skin around it. And I was like, that looks sus. And I've noticed like my lymph nodes and me, so, a bit of classic health anxiety stuff. But it was all fine, thankfully. We had a lovely chat. And the reason I bring it up is because, while I was laying on this bed, basically in the nude, okay? And this doctor was kind of, inspecting me. He was asking me questions about YouTube and graphic design. And I think that's what I learned from that is that it is, it's one of those jobs where I think going into it, you don't expect how much talking is involved, right? It's like my dentist is also a very good chatter, got a very attentive, very good listener, and got a lot of great questions. And this guy was the same. And I'm like, that's a surprising part of the job, I think. The fact that you have to be quite a social person to put someone's mind off, the fact that they're laying there just on it's quite an intense feeling. So it's like you got to really distract them just by having this conversation. But it was genuinely a good chat, and it was like, oh, there you go, it was really nice guy. Anyway, shout out to that. I also got another random update. I also got private health insurance yesterday. I'm growing up, Mom. I'm growing up. I think I got a shit plan, though. I feel like I'm paying way too much or something for not enough in return. I don't really know what a good plan kind of looks like, but I think this will encourage me to go get physio for things like my hip, and then also get therapy for things like my hip. So that'll be good. Look at me looking after myself. Hopefully that's something we can all think about, or something, I guess. Hey guys, it's time for the featured item of the week. Today's featured item of the week is, of course, this right here. I didn't put it on my phone, so I'm gonna have to lean forward and read this. It's the Yoshitomo Nara walk-on flip clock, and I found this on the MoMA store, and I just think it's very cool. I would really like this. I would really like to buy this, but I think it's $600 for a flip clock. But I guess it's a piece of art, which is cool. But God, that's dear, isn't it? That's very dear. But it's cool. It's got like, I think each number has like a different illustration on it, and it just kind of ticks over like that. And I think that's awesome. So shout out to the MoMA for introducing me to that. The MoMA store's got a lot of really good stuff. The shipping to Australia is ridiculous, but the fact that it's just an amazing curation of goods. I'm truly amazed by it all. It's cool. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about a bunch of different stuff. Last week, of course, we talked about interior design. The week before, we talked about fashion. To continue on that series, we had some requests to talk about music, and I would love to talk a bit about music later on in the pod. And I wanted to update you on the new YouTube video first, because, guys, I'm very proud to announce that it is coming out today. Look, he's finished. Look at him. He's done. It's official. And the YouTube video is not coming out today. That was a lie. It's coming out probably at the end of next week, a month after it was originally planned to come out. But hey, you gotta, it's a work in progress. So, some updates, some behind the scenes exclusive updates, everyone. First, the script is done. The script is done. The first draft of the script. I'm going to edit it today. 2, tomorrow, I'm going to film it all. I have lights now. I have lights. I have a tripod. I have a little screen that I can plug into the camera, a little HDMI screen that I can see rather than using the flip out little viewfinder. I can use a proper thing. I can use a proper screen now. I am taking this so seriously. I want these videos. I got to make 4 videos in the next 2 months. I've been feeling terrible I've been feeling so stressed because of that. Probably explains the lymph nodes. And I want them to be good. I need 3 of them to be good. All the Squarespace deal, we need to hit 600,000 views across the 3 videos. So one of them at least needs to really pop off, which I think is definitely doable. And I think this video, based on the script, I think it's going to be very good. I forget last week if he had glasses or not, but he has glasses now. And the main fix is that he just stands a little bit better. He can also walk around. He can jump. If you followed, I think Elliot is a 3D guy on Instagram. You might have seen some updates there. I forget if I shared it to the main, but he is here. And the latest and greatest feature is this. Hey, Elliot, how are you doing today? And just give him a second as he thinks. Maybe another second. I really hope that worked. I don't want to have to...
Hey, I'm doing absolutely fantastic, mate. Thanks for asking. Just had a cup of coffee, got the creative juices flowing, you know how it is. How about yourself? How's your day shaping up?
He speaks. He speaks. My beautiful boy speaks. I am in love with him. It's official. I am in love with this man. If you can't love yourself, then you can't expect to love anyone else. He's real. He has a voice. He has a personality. And he takes about 5 to 10 seconds to respond to anything that I have to ask him. But he is alive. So I spent the entire Thursday and Friday of last week trying to set this up, essentially. Once again, I forced myself to learn something new. It was Python this time. We've done Blender, we've done Unity, and we've done Python. God. Visual Studio Code, I think is the program I was using for all this. Thankfully, we are in an era where people like to upload tutorials on YouTube, and one of the most popular tutorials going around right now is how to make an AI waifu girlfriend. And following those tutorials will teach you a lot about Python and how to, 1, clone someone's voice, 2, connect it to an OpenAI kind of like GPT scenario that will provide responses, and then 3, set up your mic so that you can actually have a conversation with it, and it will use that voice, use the responses, and then churn it back out in some kind of audio. So I followed the code step by step on Thursday. It wouldn't work. No matter what I would do, it wouldn't work. And I was like, I'm done. I cannot do this anymore. I was about to give up. And then I checked the issues tab on the GitHub. I've been looking a lot at GitHub recently. And there was someone who had the exact same issue. And then the guy who wrote the code was like, oh, I don't know why this is happening. And I was like, oh, fuck. If that guy doesn't know, then how am I meant to figure it out? And the whole day I spent trying to figure it out, right? Trying to fix this one issue. Going back and forth with ChatGPT. We just couldn't get it. Me and ChatGPT, we couldn't figure it out. But then the next day, someone added to that forum and was like, oh, you just need to delete this one word in the code. And I did, and it worked. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. So we now have that voice. I would like to also say that the voice, the Elliot clone voice, is trained on GDIME. I submitted 3 hours of GDIME, and it has now turned into this voice, which is awfully accurate if I was American. One of the things that I didn't realize would happen is that 11 Labs, which is the software that I'm using, will only make American voices. So it takes your training data and then just puts an American accent on it. I don't know how or why it does that. I don't think that makes much sense to me. But he does now speak American, which is a lot of fun, and we can always just chat with him. Hey, Elliot, tell us a little bit about yourself. I've also given him a very strict personality. I wrote about 500 words trying to explain myself to him. He knows that I exist. He knows that we're clones, and he's very happy about that. And also, for a big question like this, it takes a while to generate all the text, so that's why I'm filling in the gaps here. But he should be ready about now. That would have been so cool if I timed that right. But he's still thinking, because this must be a really big response. I think I included...
Well, today, where do I even begin? All right, buckle up, because we're about to embark
this is gonna be
on
a
the
long
wild
one.
ride that is my life. So I'm Elliot, a 24-year-old graphic design content creator from Sydney, Australia.
Yeah.
I've got a twin brother named Lewis, and let me tell you, we're quite the dynamic duo. I make YouTube videos for a living, sharing my love for graphic design with the world. Got about 100,000 subscribers.
Hey.
So you could say I'm building my little design empire. On Instagram,
okay.
I like to keep things interesting by posting funny graphic design posters. You know, got to inject some humor into the design world. But here's the kicker. My ultimate dream is to become a comedian and move to the Big Apple, New York.
Yeah, baby.
I've got big dreams, my friend. And hey, I like to think I've got a pretty good sense of humor, so why not give it a shot, right? In a nutshell, I'm a charming, cheeky, and slightly bitter designer with a knack for making people laugh. Life's a journey, and I'm just riding the wave, hoping for a few laughs along the way. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. That was one of the things. I said you're a casual guy. I think I wrote like you use Australian slang specifically and frequently. Hell yeah, unreal and sick. So sometimes he just says that. It is funny as well. The Open AI's interpretation of Australian slang is just "g'day" and "mate," and that's like the baseline, and that's all he really does. That was cute though. That was probably far too long. I think I need to change I had to pay for that as well. Just want to let you guys know that cost me probably 1/10 of a cent to generate. So yeah, yeah, he's expensive. He's expensive. But he's quite funny, and I think he can be a good addition to the podcast and to GDIME. Is like almost like a little co-host. And just if anyone ever has any questions for him, let me know, and we can do that. But I don't want to jump to him frequently because it is a bit of a cop out at the end of the day, don't you think? Because he's literally just an AI bot, and that's kind of boring. But it makes me feel less alone. And I just want to make sure everyone knows that, yeah, I still stand by everything that I say about artificial intelligence, okay? I still don't like it, yeah? I only like it when it's a gimmick. And this is what this is. This amazes me. When it comes to like, making logos and stuff, I don't give a rat's ass. But when it comes to cloning myself, then I think that's amazing. Especially as someone with a twin. I've also restructured the narrative of the video to be like, I want to reference the headphone dent that Lewis had in the last video, the every program video. And I want it to be that he won't talk to me anymore because I humiliated him in that video. So I have to clone myself to make up for it. Also, his hair is dynamic. So when he moves his head, is the back. I don't know what happened to the front. The front was working at one point. It stopped working recently. But the back of the hair will sway with the wind, which I think is pretty cool. Just a little thing that I'm very happy about. He turned out really well. I think. I don't really. I mean, there's so many improvements I want to make, but I just can't be fucked right now. He's also in a really weird stance. But otherwise, his arms it's the only way I can do it without his arms like folding in on himself. And he kind of looks like he's putting his hands on his hips. So this works. This works for now. My beautiful boy. I say that about 5 times in the script. But that video should hopefully be coming out next week. I hope. I really hope. But we'll see. Hey, let's talk about a little bit about music. Music, the ultimate designer's, dessert. Sure. Oh, also, really quick ad lib. Next week, I'm doing stand-up again. I just locked in my first gig. Yeah! So we're doing stand-up. That's fun. That's going to be exciting. I look forward to updating you in a fortnight as to how that will go. Music. I make a little playlist. I'm going to open up my Spotify as we talk about this because I think that will give me inspiration. I make a little playlist every month called called ELLIOT Radio, not GDIME. ELLIOT Radio, which is just a 15 songs every month that I'm kind of feeling at that moment. Usually just straight out of my liked songs. I'm not really a playlist guy, but I think this is cute. I like doing this. I like doing my monthly thing. When it comes to defining my music taste, I got asked this at the gym the other day. Someone was like, what kind of music are you into? And my response for years has always been a little bit of everything. And it's the most boring fucking response ever. But I think it's really true. It's really true. I can't really decide on like a favorite artist or anything really. I can kind of, but I just like, I do listen to a lot of stuff and it really depends on what I'm feeling at a different time. My music taste can best be described as the Spotify Discover Weekly playlist because it always knows exactly what I want to discover and it knows it weekly. But ELLIOT Radio is really fun. I like listening to a bunch of stuff. To give you a background on my music past that might have influenced some of my choices. Did you know that I used to play French horn? Did you know that? French horn. In year 4, I was meant to play the trombone, okay? There were 4 of us who had signed up to the school band to play the trombone. They only had 3 trombones at the school, okay? So they said, who wants to play the baritone horn? And I said, me wanting to be an individual, I found out that there's only one baritone horn. So I said, I'll be the baritone hornist. Baritone horn is one of the most boring instruments that exists. Okay. So after a year, they said, would you like to try the French horn? It's one of the most difficult instruments, but it's fun. And I said, I love a challenge. So I started learning French horn, and it was fun. I do like the French horn. I think the French horn is one of the most beautiful instruments around. It just is pure brass. You got a lot of tubes. You can use your hand in the hole and mute. You use your hand as a mute. Really cool. Never really got that, but it is pretty cool. And it just feels, you can hold it. You can pick it up and play and hold it. It's got a really nice feel to it. It's quite an amazing instrument. So I played French horn for I think 4 years, right, going into high school. But then in year 6, right, there was a jazz band at the school, right, the year 6 jazz band, and they needed a bassist. And I was like, I would love to play bass. My brother was a drummer, and I wanted and general percussionist, and I wanted to play bass. So from year 6 to year 12, to graduating high school, I played the bass, and I think I got pretty good. Not gonna lie, I was very happy with my skill level as a bass guitarist, and I miss it dearly. I don't know why I stopped. I left my bass at the school, and I just was like, one day I'll pick it up, and I never did. And it's been 6 years? God, they're probably making a mockery of it. They probably throw it around. They probably threw it off the top of the building or something. They probably ruined it. Anyway, I miss that bass so much. One day I'll probably buy another one, but then you got to buy the amp and everything. I'll probably get an acoustic bass or something. I had an acoustic guitar as well. I tried to learn guitar. But I'm a big jazz guy. I played a lot of jazz all through high school. Big believer in the rhythm section, the drummer, the pianist, and the bass. I love that stuff. I love sitting in the pocket. You know what I mean? Any jazz players out there, let me know. We love band. I think band was one of my favorite things that I did. It was just so much fun, and there's just something about playing music that I love so much, and I miss it a lot. And I feel like it's hard. It's quite easy now to continue sport after high school. Organized sport is very common. I don't know. I haven't looked into it for music or anything, but I just feel like it's a lot harder. There's only one bassist in every band. When I take a lot of pride being a Swiss Army knife in any sport that I play. Band, I'm a bassist, so it's a bit tricky, but maybe one day I'll truly try and get back into it. Hit up some old friends, or something like that who I used to jam with, and go for a little jam session. PB and jam, am I right? God. But that was a lot of fun. So I've grown up with that as my main influence, I guess, which means that I'm a big rhythm. I think I really enjoy rhythm, and I really enjoy strong beats. You wouldn't really tell based on ELLIOT radio, I guess. I mean, this month is a bit all over the place. But when it comes to my main taste, my favorite genre probably is jazz rap, right? With my favorite bands in that, or they're all trios, funnily enough, in that genre being, and this is probably in order, Diggable Planets, who we've talked about before, I think, and someone in the comments mentioned that they listen to Diggable Planets and they love them. So if you haven't heard Diggable Planets, give them a listen. Oh my God. They pretty much always feature on GDIME. I don't think they did, on ELLIOT Radio. I don't think they did this month, but there's also an archive playlist and you can see everything. Diggable Planets are definitely in there several times. De La Soul, who have just recently come to Spotify, and they are absolutely unreal. Oh my God. So good. And then A Tribe Called Quest as well, who I started listening to when I was in high school. Absolutely loved, and then only really got into their deeper cuts recently. So those are the top 3, but honestly my top 3 favorite bands in general, right? I could listen to them forever, I think. I just love their music so much, right? So jazz rap's always kind of been at the top, and then down from that it's just a mix. It really is a mix. I'm a big house music guy. I really like music I can work to and then also run to. My running playlist I think is okay. It's not the best, but it's pretty good, I think, in terms of house stuff. Drum and bass stuff as well I like. I also just want to clarify, I have the worst music terminology. So if I sound like I know what I'm talking about, it's because I'm pretending, okay? I'm just going to keep going. And then, God, otherwise, it really is a mix. It really is a mix. I really liked the Spider-Verse soundtrack, Metro Boomin stuff in general. Big fan of that. Spider-Verse soundtrack was absolutely fantastic. I probably want to go see that movie again soon. honestly, for the fourth time. I truly do adore it. But yeah, otherwise, it really is a mix. It really is a mix. Some other genres I could throw out is like Italo disco, like Italian disco stuff from back in the, I don't know, the 70s, I guess. Very good. Who else? A bit of salsa every so often. Got a playlist saved with all that. Runway music. Search if you're ever interested in some good playlists. I find searching up like runway music is really good. I used to watch a lot of fashion shows, and you always listen to the music and you go, this soundtrack is fantastic. There's the I think it was the Louis Vuitton Virgil Abloh show back in like, God, 2019 maybe? And Tyler, the creator, did the music for it. And that is some of my, like, I'm getting a phone call. That was some of my like favorite, I listened to that and I was like, that introduced me to the world of like just runway music in general. And like, I thought that was so, fashion shows in general are they're just so cool. They are so cool. I want to go watch more of them. And when it comes to every element of design is stuck in there, honestly. There's an element of branding to it all. There's a fashion design, obviously, is the core of it, but it's how it's presented, right? You know, there's so much to think about when you're putting on shows like that. How does the set match it all? There's choreography to it. In this specific Virgil Abloh show, right? You've got these models kind of walking down the runway, and then at different moments at different music cues, you've got people kind of like who break out of just that walking and they'll fall down and then like catch themselves, pick themselves back up and rejoin the line. And some of them fall asleep. Some of them start jumping around, dancing and shit. It's awesome. It's so cool. It feels much more like a dance rather than just a traditional runway, which I really, really like. But yeah, the set, the location choice, where the audience is seated, how close are they to the action, can they see each other, all that stuff. It's like it's very theatrical, and I really do like it. Would love to go to a fashion week at some time. I think that'd be very cool. Maybe I'll try and go to the next one in Australia, Sydney Fashion Week or whatever it's called. That'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, otherwise it's so hard to. I do find it difficult to talk about music because it really is so big. I will say that I'm a big musical theater head. Yeah, that's something that you might not know about me, guys. I'm a big musical theater head. I adore the theater. When I went to New York, I saw so many shows there, like 5 years ago, and it's just my favorite thing in the world. There's a production of The Great Comet that's going on right now in Sydney, which I'm going to see, I think, this week, which I'm very excited about too. We're seeing Sweeney Todd as a family in a few months. I booked tickets for my dad's birthday. I don't even think he likes musicals, but I'm like, trust me. I'm like, trust me. It's Sweeney. Trust me, father. It's Sondheim. And everyone loves Sondheim. So that's very exciting. I do love musicals a lot. Would always have loved to be in a musical too. I think that's one of the dreams. I think it'd be so hard to get like a gig as a musical theater performer, being like the triple threat and all that. I honestly think the easiest way to getting into musical theater is probably becoming a hit actor, or like you know, triple threat, choosing one, nailing it, becoming the best in the world, and then getting cast as a lead because you just got the name and you're going to sell tickets. I honestly see that as an easier way than probably like becoming the purest triple threat and then making it big. So yeah, that's the dream, guys. That's the dream. Me and Clone Elliot shared. But God, do I love musicals. I just simply adore them. What else kind of music do I like? Let me run through some hits from Elliot Radio that you might not hear. Oh, there's a song in here, Trojan Horse, which is from Dave and Central C. They released an album recently. Not an album, I guess an EP. It's just like 4 tracks. I really like that one. Dave and Central C, very good combo. A little bit of UK rap. Big fan. There is a song in it called UK Rap, which is very good too. There's a little bit of, oh God, there's that damn Drake album, Honestly Nevermind, that I ran to once and I was like, wow, what an album. And then I have stopped listening to it because it got old very quickly, unfortunately. Fishman's is such a classic rate your music style. I feel like everyone who jumps on that website knows Fishmans, but they're really good. They're an older, like I think late '90s Japanese group, and they have this one song called "Long Season." Is it "Long Season"? I've got it saved because it's 40 minutes, right? It's a 40-minute long song, okay? It's one of the best songs I've ever listened to ever. Yeah, it truly is amazing. It's a live recording of Long Season. It's 40 minutes long. Trust me, if you're ever on a long journey and you need to kill 40 minutes, I would put this song on. It made time go so fast. I think I would listen to it on a flight to Melbourne once. I just put it on twice. Put it on twice, close my eyes, boom. I arrived. Yeah, amazing. That song is truly amazing. And Fishmans in general, really, really cool bands. Just real cool music. I'm a big Blood Orange head. Blood Orange is great. Also great music to put on a plane, and also just good music in general. But very good music to put on a plane. I think I only save and download music to my phone if I'm going to be listening to it on a plane. Funnily enough, I've also liked some new songs. Oh, one of my favorite bands right now is who I got to see live back in February, is a band called Jockstrap, which is just a two-piece band. It's one of the people in Black Country New Road. I think she's the violinist in Black Country New Road, which I didn't realize until I went to the concert, and I was like, there are so many people here who look like they're fans of Black. Like it's just it was like the Black Country New Road target crowd. Like you could just tell, and they were all there, and I was like, what? This is not what I was expecting based on the type of music Jockstrap makes. And yeah, it's because she's in it, so that made sense. And then the other guy in Jockstrap, Taylor Sky, released an album ages ago that I just recently found, which is called Code Fine and Sons, and I've been listening to that a little bit. Taylor Sky, very, very cool music. Jockstrap in general, absolutely fantastic. A real mix of stuff. They go back and forth between some beautiful angelic pieces and then some really kind of intense, noisy stuff, and then the best in between. And it's just a really good mix that I like a lot. What else do I really like? Oh, my brother put me onto Odd Eye Circle, who are a very, very cool group. And they've got this song called Air Force One, which is fantastic. And the whole little, I think it's just an EP. There's only like 5-6 songs. But I've been having that on repeat for like the last 2 weeks. Absolutely adore that. Sampha released a new song, Spirit 2.0, which is mwah, beautiful. I probably played that like 50 times in the last week, honestly. And I recently went back and found, I do this thing sometimes where, maybe it was when I was younger, not as much anymore. I've matured. But when my twin, you guys know him as Lewis, when Lewis would send me music, right, I would ignore it. And I'd be like, shut up. I don't care. And he would do the same for me. And I think we did that to each other because it was like that thing of like, oh, my music taste is better. You know, like, oh, I don't like your music kind of thing. He first put me onto Brockhampton. I didn't listen to Brockhampton for like a year because I refused because he kept putting them on. And the fact that he liked them so much annoyed me. Anderson .Paak was the exact same. And I went back and listened to Ventura. That is one of my favorite albums ever. I have 6 songs from that album that I just liked in a row. And I could play that album over and over and over again. I love Anderson .Paak so much. I think he is one of my favorite artists, and it's a fantastic album. If you haven't listened to Ventura, it is so good. Just from like literally from top to tail. Make It Better, featuring Smokey Robinson, is just such a beautiful song, and it's just good. It puts a smile on your face. You just enjoy it. You can dance to it. It's lovely. Lewis has seen Anderson .Paak a few times in concert, and he was like, he's the one artist who, if he's in Australia, he'll do whatever it takes to go. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that in the future. I will definitely be doing that myself because I simply must have. Oh, Solange is amazing as well. Solange's 2 albums are like, oh, God, I could put these on forever as well. When I Get Home, and then A Seat at the Table. A Seat at the Table and When I Get Home are like they complement each other so well. They're so different, but so much the same. Listen to those albums. Listen to those albums. Seriously. Very, very cool music. Very, very good. Thoroughly enjoy it. Who else have I got here? These are the Elliot recommendations that you just don't hear about too often. I don't put these anywhere, guys. Maybe that's it in terms of stuff I've been recently listening to. I gave Peso Pluma a chance because we look the same, and I do enjoy Peso Pluma. That's fun. Oh, and a little bit of like what's the genre called? No, forget it. I can't even express. Oh, Faye Webster. Faye Webster, I also absolutely adore if she ever comes to Australia. Faye Webster, Wise Blood, those kind of artists, like beautiful, beautiful music that always just put a smile on my face and they put me at ease, which I really like. There are sometimes, I'm basically working on YouTube 24/7 for the next 2 months based on all this stuff that I have to get out. And I will be, like doing I've been doing my daily Sudokus, right? And I'll put in some Faye Webster, relax for 15 minutes and try and complete an expert Sudoku. And that just really settles me and is really nice. Or put it on while I'm playing some Street Fighter. I'm gold 4 with Jamie. We're getting there. Getting a lot better, improving a lot, which is good. But God, I do just love music so much. A bit of Fatboy Slim I've been listening to recently. A lot of Stevie Wonder, a lot of Janelle Monáe. Flo, Cardboard Box by Flo. What a track. Pink Pantheress. Wow. All these tunes that I just listen to often. I also just love disco in general. I have an old playlist on my account. I made these 3 for my Twitch stream as a little Christmas present. We've got Elliot is a Chef, Elliot is a Jam, Elliot is a Stressed. I still back these hard. We've got Elliot is a Chef, which is like disco songs, specifically songs that I would like to sing as a theme song for Design Chef, which I've been thinking a lot about recently, by the way, Design Chef. Then we got Elliot is a Jam, which is just more like songs you should dance to. They're honestly quite similar to Elliot is a Chef, but it's just different, more modern, I would say. And then Elliot is a Stress, which is songs that are a bit more chill that you might want to design to, I find. And I like this as well. I also have a playlist called I Like to Design to This, which I need to make private because there's only 6 songs in there and it's kind of basic. But, it is a thing. Oh, and I really wanted to quickly mention, and we'll close on this. There are some sets online that I find amazing to design to. And a new one just dropped, was just Channel Trez at I think Primavera Sound, which is like a best of all of Channel Trez's like DJ sets that are online. I'm gonna try and find them. I've got this playlist called Stream Music. And another one just dropped as well. Hang on, let me. So, honestly, if you want to get in the mood to design, personally, just search up Channel Trez, one of my favorite artists, who I'm shocked that I haven't yet to mention. His DJ sets are absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. There's like 5 of them online. They are all amazing. Similar energy, all of them. And I could put them on back to back to back all day. There's also the Barry Can't Swim Feel Good House set in the Lab London. The Barry Can't Swim Feel Good House set. That is also amazing. The end of that set, some of my favorite music I've ever heard. SoundCloud exclusive kind of music, that makes me really upset that I can't get it on Spotify, but still very good. Lala is also got some great sets. There's one that she does at the Lab London, and then also one she does for Boiler Room. Those are great, really, really good mixes. And then just the other day, Emilion Dor, which I don't think I'll ever pronounce correctly, released a little 1 hour and 10-minute mix, which is just called Stretch Armstrong at 214 Mulberry. It's the only thing they've released. And Aimee Leon Dore is, of course, a fashion brand that makes some very, very cool luxury stuff. Notably, the New Balance 550 ALBs are something else. And this is the only thing they've uploaded to their YouTube channels 4 days ago. And Stretch Armstrong is just this really tall DJ, I guess. And it's just like all vinyl. So he gets like these singles, like these little, what do they call them? Like 7-inch singles? Is that you got the big ones that like, aren't they like, there's like the 12-inch records and then like the singles like 7-inch, I think, or 5-inch. And then you just put those, he just goes back and forth putting those on. No digital stuff. The only issue is that YouTube has blocked like one or two of the songs. So there's just a big period of silence. So it's not just you, don't worry. But that set I have been loving. You get like a minute and a half of every song. That's how many songs are in the set for an hour and 7 minutes. It's fantastic. Definitely go check that out. Yeah, music is so good. I think music is fantastic. I also found that you can license music for YouTube videos. There's a platform called Licked, I think it's called. Yuck. And I'm really considering. I just found out you can license Yellow by Coldplay, and I would love to finish the video somehow with me falling in love with this clone while Yellow is playing. There's going to be a moment where we get emotional. I don't know how that's going to work yet. I gotta kind of tell him to be a bit more poetic, I think. But there's going to be a moment at the end where it gets quite emotional. We talk about the future together, and I want that soundtrack to kind of kick in. But I don't know, because the video is being sponsored by Squarespace. I don't know if they'll let me license it, so we'll see. We're gonna have to try and experiment some stuff. But the video is going to be amazing, guys. I'm so excited to share it with you all. And also, I'm getting coffee this Friday with Struthless. If anyone knows Struthless, huge YouTuber here in Sydney, and just a really cool guy, artist, designer, and content creator. And I'm looking forward to that a lot. Elliot meeting YouTuber era. It's the Elliot meeting YouTuber era, everyone. Last with some final words from my son here. Elliot, do you have any final words that you want to say to my podcast that you are featuring on right now? Let's see what he has to say to this, because then I can put on this music, can't I? Let's see what he has to say. Let's see what my American friend sitting next to me here has to say. I wish I made him sit. He kind of looks weird standing. Sit.
To your podcast listeners, I'd say this: embrace the uncertainty, chase your dreams, and never be afraid to inject a little humor into your life. Life's too short to take everything so seriously. You gotta find joy in the little things, you know? And hey, if you're passionate about something, go for it. Take risks, make mistakes, and learn from them. That's how we grow and evolve. Remember, we all have the power to create our own futures. So let's laugh, dream big, and keep pushing ourselves to new heights. Oh, and if you ever find yourself in Sydney, hit me up and we'll grab a pint or two. Cheers, mates.
The pint or two. The theater of it all. Thank you, everyone, for listening to GDIME, or for watching, however you choose to endure this podcast. Feel free to rate it 5 stars again on Spotify as we push towards 1 billion reviews. And thank you again for making us the top 20 podcast in Australia for arts. I look forward to seeing you next time. That's all from me. See you later, guys. Have a good one. See ya.